Imagine waking up one day and realizing the person you once idolized, the one who made you laugh, moved you with film, and inspired millions worldwide, is gone by the hand of his own son. That's not a movie script. That's real life. Today we dive into the heartbreaking, almost Greek tragedy-style story of Nick Reiner, the troubled son of Hollywood legend Rob Reiner. A story that led from addiction and recovery shared with the world to an unthinkable family tragedy. Nick Reiner wasn't always in the headlines for tragedy. For years, he openly shared his struggle with drug addiction, telling the world about his battles with heroin, homelessness, and the brutal reality of addiction. As a teenager, Nick cycled in and out of dozens of rehab centers. He spent nights on the streets of different states, from Maine to New Jersey to Texas, struggling to survive. He said it himself, "I come from a nice family. I'm not supposed to be out there on the streets." This wasn't just tabloid gossip. This was a raw, personal account of pain and resilience. In 2015, the world got a glimpse into Nick's life through film. Nick co-wrote a semi-autobiographical movie called Being Charlie, about a young man battling addiction and the complicated relationship with his father. His father, Rob Reiner, didn't just produce this film, he directed it. 2 generations, one story, raw, vulnerable, and painfully honest about how addiction can fracture even the closest of families. Rob once said in an interview that working on that film was one of the most personal experiences of his life, a chance to finally connect with his son. Moments of reconciliation were there, moments of hope, but addiction, as we know, isn't linear. Fast forward to December 14th, 2025. Rob Reiner, 78, the beloved director of films like When Harry Met Sally and The Princess Bride, and his wife, Michelle Singer Reiner, were found dead in their Brentwood home. It was a homicide. They had been fatally stabbed. Hours later, the unthinkable happened. Their own son, Nick Reiner, age 32, was arrested and charged with their murders. Bail? Denied. Held without release as the investigation continues. Behind the headlines was a family who tried, countless rehab stays, endless hospital visits, obsessions with healing. Friends said Rob and Michelle were always there, sometimes frustrated, sometimes hopeful, but never giving up on Nick. Yet like so many stories of addiction, recovery touches hearts, but doesn't guarantee a happy ending. What makes this story especially devastating, apart from the loss of 2 loving parents, is the complicated legacy of honesty Nick once offered the world. A young man who shared his truth about the darkest depths of addiction, who turned pain into art, and whose story was once a beacon of hope, now finds his life defined by tragedy. This isn't just a Hollywood headline, it's a story about the human condition, about struggle, forgiveness, love, and heartbreak, about how addiction can change a life and sometimes destroy it. And as the world watches this story continue to unfold, one thing remains clear. This was no ordinary news story. This was a family with dreams, flaws, second chances, and a tragic ending that will resonate for years to come.